What's going on, people? Welcome to Football Carnage, and we are back with another Madrid hype right here for you guys, live and direct. And you knew that this was coming. You knew that a Madrid hype was on the way after we lost another cup final to Barcelona. Yesterday, I dropped a video. I had the glasses on because I had to start seeing clearly, because I couldn't believe what my eyes have witnessed over the last 8 to 9 months of this season. And now I'm seeing things very clearly. I'm seeing things for what they are. I'm noticing all the PR and all the disgraceful tactics that this club has been employing this season. It's crazy. But this was always coming. Once I saw that L, I got hyped up. I'm seeing all these news reports that are coming out. We got to talk about the managerial stuff. That's going to be the main topic of this Madrid hype. We got to talk about Carlo leaving, and we also got to talk about Xabi and Jürgen Klopp in depth. We're going to do some tactical breakdowns. We're going to talk about who's the best fit, the pros and cons, because it's not confirmed on who the next manager will be. And it's also not 100% confirmed that Xabi or like Jürgen Klopp will come in, and also if Carlo Ancelotti is leaving. But I think that we can all just use our, you know what I'm saying, our, what's it called? Our reasonable thinking to make these conclusions. But look, man, big up the chat every single time. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications, right? Get in the live chat. Let me know what you guys are saying. Big up to everybody. Couple of updates before we get into it, right? I did create a second channel. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. If you're in here, click that link, subscribe to my second channel. I'm going to be uploading videos about other teams, right? This channel, we're going to keep it Real Madrid. We're going to also do like Barca hate watches on this channel as well. But on the second channel, right, that's where I'll be talking about all the teams in Europe, right? Like Premier League, PSG, Bayern, whatever. Transfer notes coming around the corner. You guys aren't going to want to miss any of that content. So go over there, subscribe. Carnage Extra, okay? Make sure you do that right now. Also, the Discord link is going to get dropped in the chat throughout the stream. Same thing with the second channel link as well. So when you guys see that, click it, join the Discord. Over 240 people are in there. And the more that we grow, the more fun that it will be. But how's everybody doing, though? Monday morning, right? I can't complain too much. Well, I mean, I can complain because we've been shit this season. But in general, though, you know, it's all good. My guy, Hubris and Unruly, big up to you, man. Big up, Unruly, my guy. Did my guy say, bro, hurry up? You like, what do you think? That you run stuff over here, bro? Okay, my fault, boss. My fault. Next time, I'm going to be faster for you. But I started on time, though, kind of. I was only like a minute late. I'm saying, give me a little break. Big up to Santiago, says 2 streams in 1 day. Yes, Madrid hype right now. And then later we will be running Football Mania. Got to talk about El Clasico, right? I know that the Barca fans definitely want to come on here and troll and talk their shit. Also going to talk about the UCL, right? Because the semifinals start tomorrow. And then, yeah, we'll probably talk about some Premier League stuff as well. Like, why is it the most entertaining Farmers League in the world? But big up to Liverpool, who did win it after beating Tottenham. Nah, Carlo did not resign. Carlo will be here until the end of the season or the La Liga season, and then he's going. Let me see. I mean, look, Robson, I think Klopp would be a good fit for Real Madrid. I know not everybody agrees with that, right? Like my guy right here is saying Jose Mourinho. I mean, me personally, I don't really think Jose Mourinho should come back, but never know. What's going on, Nate? Says, yo, Carnage, did Carlo? No. It's not clickbaiting. It's not clickbaiting. Just look at all the reports that say that Carlo Ancelotti is going to be leaving at the end of the season. I don't clickbait, bro. I might form my titles in a way that make you think something, but I always have the reports. I always have the tweets that I share screen to bring up. So nobody can accuse me of clickbaiting. I don't make up the news. I just talk about it. I'm not a reporter. Yo, Sensei, what's good, my guy? What's up, Carnage? That rant was generational. Bro, my voice is still recovering. Like yesterday, I could barely talk when I first woke up. I had to drink some hot tea with some honey. Carney, are you going to cheer for Arsenal or PSG or don't care? Personally, I'm encouraging PSG because I admire what they've done. I do want Arsenal to win it. I want to see Arsenal win the UCL. I like Arsenal. So, yeah, I'd like to see them win that trophy. I don't really care about if their fans are going to be delusional and talk. I don't really care. As long as Barca don't win it, though, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as much. But if I had to pick one team that I'd want to see win the UCL, it's Arsenal. I'm be real. Yo, big up to my guy Adam. Says that review was Seth's kiss. Bro, I was heated. I was pissed. I'm still pissed. But, you know, they say that time does heal. But now, look, big up the damn chat, though, every single time, right? Let's actually get into some of the topics that I want to talk about. And the first thing that we got to get into, obviously, is the news that broke after we lost another cup final to Barcelona, and that is Carlo Ancelotti and his future at Real Madrid and what he will possibly do starting as early as June. So according to a lot of reports from a lot of big journalists, they're saying that Carlo Ancelotti will be at Real Madrid for 5 more games and will then leave the club and join Brazil before the Club World Cup begins. So this is kind of in line with what I think makes the most sense. There's 5 more games left for La Liga. And for everybody that wanted Carlo Ancelotti to get sacked immediately after that match ended, I think it's idiotic. It would have made no sense. Because what is an interim manager going to do? If you're an interim manager, you're not setting up tactics. You're not instilling a style of play. You got to be a man manager because everybody knows you're only a short-term solution. You're not going to be here for the long term. So it would have made no sense to sack Carlo right now and then give it to somebody like Solari for 5 games. What's the point? Let Carlo see out the rest of this season. If you wanted Carlo out during this season, then he should have gotten sacked after we lost to AC Milan. That was the time to get rid of Carlo. But since we didn't, and now that we're out of all competitions, you might as well just keep him. Now, I agree with him not being here for the Club World Cup. I think that he should be gone before that, right? And I think that Carlo does deserve a send-off. For as shit as this season has been, he is a legendary manager. He is Real Madrid's most successful manager. So I don't think that he should be hounded out, right? I think the club should do something for him, right? Maybe, you know, give him like a nice ambassador role, right? Give him like a little send-off where all the trophies that he's won is on display. Let the crowd at the Bernabeu clap him off. Because I think we can all still respect what he's done, even though we want him out. Now, I think Carlo, the writing was on the wall, right? This season was awful. This is one of the worst seasons that I have witnessed as a Real Madrid fan. I think Carlo has done so many things wrong. I think that Carlo's management, in terms of tactically, it's been poor. The lack of in-game adjustments, the lack of using Arda Güler, using Endrick, giving some more kids in the academy a run in the first team, despite our poor run of form. Like, it's just certain things that makes me think he is no longer the manager that Real Madrid need. He's very good with keeping the vibes up, right? He's a good man manager. But this team is not good enough to have a coach that doesn't have solid tactics, that doesn't have a style of play. This is not Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale. Like, it's not that generation of Madrid. These players have shown you that they need instruction. So I think, look, Carlo going to Brazil, going the international route, that could be beneficial because we all know that being an interim not an interim, but being an international coach is like a part-time job, right? When you're an international manager, there is no style of play, right? Like in terms of you only see these players a handful of times throughout the year. So you're not going to be able to implement like a system or a style, bro. Like these players are at their clubs for 95% of the season. So what an international manager has to do is pick the best players, bring them in, and set them up. That's it. And I think Carlo could do a good job as Brazil's manager. I mean, Brazil have been in the mud for years now. Dorville Jr., man like Peter Griffin, Brazil's last manager, was shit. He should have got sacked after the Copa America tournament. I don't know how he lasted as long as he did. And you guys know, I like the Brazil national team. We do watch-alongs, right? We're here when they're doing their World Cup qualifiers. But watching them lately, it's been jarring. Maybe Carlo Ancelotti can go there and get the best out of Vinicius, right? We all know that Vinny struggles for his country. Maybe Carlo could be the manager that unlocks him. But, yeah, Brazil have been struggling. I understand why they want Carlo, right? Huge name, decorated manager as well. And I think it can work. But if they're looking for Carlo to come in and do all these tactical things, then they're just not paying attention. They're really not. So, look, let's see what happens. But I'll tell you this, though. Any young Brazil kids, like Esteval Willian, you're cooked. You're cooked. Carlo's not about to use this guy for the Brazil national team. Now, maybe if he goes and does a madness with Chelsea next season, then maybe. But, yeah, he's not going to use young talent. He's going to go for the more established. He's going to go for the more experienced players to call up. That's Carlo's thing. But I do think that him going the international route is better than him going to another club. Because I don't think he's good enough to manage clubs at the highest level anymore. So internationally, I can see it working. Club-wise, no. And like I said, the writing was on the wall for him at Real Madrid. I think the only way that Carlo would have been able to keep his job, he would have had to win the Champions League this season. Once we got knocked out of that, especially getting embarrassed across two legs by Arsenal, it was over. It was over. I told you guys, I didn't care what happened rest of the season. We could have won the treble, and I still think that Carlo should have left. So, I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it, right? We'll see what he ends up doing. But more than likely, it will be the Brazil national team. Maybe Neymar comes back, and then we know Carlo just lets these players do whatever whatever they want. So free-flowing football, right? Letting the players kind of have that free roam. Generally, when you have a team full of world-class players, they can do what they want. Like, you don't really need to coach them too much. But this Madrid team is super overrated this season, and we just need a manager that's going to come in, instill some tactics, instill a system. But I want to know what you guys are saying about Carlo, right? Like, do you think that he should be leaving Real Madrid? And do you think that him going to Brazil is a good fit for them and for himself? But let me know. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Endrick is cooked. Endrick is cooked. This guy was barely getting minutes at Madrid. But to be fair, though, Brazil don't really have any strikers like that are like top. So I don't really think that it would take much for Endrick to be able to get in. Because, like, who are they running at striker? Brazil. What? Igor Jesus? Matheus Cunha? Like, none of these players are, like, a locked-in 9. What? Richarlison? Shit. Brazil strikers are kind of mid. I'm not going to lie. That's crazy when you think about it. Players are going to get burnt out for the Club World Cup. I don't know. It just depends. I don't think that we're going to win La Liga, to be honest. I think Barcelona are going to win it. So, maybe we rotate a little bit, right? I would like to see Endrick and Arda get more minutes. Yeah, I think so as well. again, international football isn't really about the tactical side of the game like that. Like, obviously, yes, if things aren't going right, then I think, Carlo's going to have to, again, be very good with his in-game management, which is very questionable. But, yeah, I think it's a decent fit for sure. I want to see Arda start rest of the season, not going to lie. Yeah, I don't think Arda's going to start every game. But I think if there's 5 matches left in La Liga, yeah, Arda needs to start at least 2 or 3 of them. And he needs to get minutes in all of them, like good minutes, not just like a little 5-minute cameo off the bench, because Arda was our, I'd say, best spark in that second half against Barcelona. So, yeah, I agree with you, Unruly. Big up, bro. Let me see. Mark my words, Carlo is winning a Copa America and a World Cup for Brazil. Yeah, I don't think that the contract that Brazil are going to give him is going to be super long. I can see it being like a 2-year kind of deal, and then they'll evaluate it. But World Cup's going to be tough, man. I think, to be honest, the success of Brazil depends on Neymar. If Neymar is fit, and if they can have Neymar in that starting 11, I think Brazil can go far. If Neymar is not available, it's going to be so difficult for them to win a World Cup. I think Copa America, they can do it. But a World Cup, when you got to go against like France, Spain, Germany, Portugal, England, Argentina, right? Like all these huge teams that I think at the moment do have a lot more talent than what Brazil do. Let me see. Brazil, as of late, is so overrated. I better not hear anyone say they can win the World Cup next year. Bro, after I just talked about if they could possibly win the World Cup with the comment that came in after that. Now, that's crazy. Imagine Madrid and Brazil national team do a manager swap. Now, hell no. Dorville's cooked. There's no way. Let me see. Now, a national team manager has to constantly watch games of their players and maybe give them advice about club moves and all. Yeah, you don't think that Carlo can do that? You don't think that Carlo can do that, bro? He already, look, let's be honest, right? If you're a national team manager, you don't have to watch that many games. Like, let's be very honest here, right? A national team manager, you already know a majority of the players that you're going to call up. Like, you're going to call up Vinny. You're going to call up Rafinha. You're going to call up Rodrigo, Bruno Guimaraes, Ederson. You're going to call up Alisson. You're going to call up the goalkeeper, Ederson. You're going to call up Gabriel Magalhaes, Marquinhos. Like, you already know about 80% of the squad that you're going to bring up. Like, there's just certain players for every single nationality that gets into the team no matter what. The games that he's going to have to watch is maybe like for positions where there's weaknesses, right? Like Brazil's fullbacks are mid. So he's going to have to watch like the guy that is at Monaco, right? Or he might even have to tap in to some Brazilian league matches to call up some players from the home country, right? But let's not act like being a national team manager is this taxing job. It's not. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying, though, Ryan. But it's not as deep as, like, people are trying to make it. I think Argentina will remain dominant in South America. Brazil just doesn't seem promising at all. Yeah, the thing is, Angel, I don't think that you're wrong. I think Argentina at the moment are the best team in South America. I feel like they just have a lot of good quality. And I think that Brazil have good quality as well. But the players just aren't clicking. Like, Brazil is basically the Real Madrid of national teams, bro. Like, a lot of talent, but lately, more so this season, it's just not been clicking for them. The problem is selfish teammates not playing the ball to Arda. He can score more goals. Brahim, Vinny, and Mbappe, who didn't play him. Madrid doesn't respect Arda and always wants to play himself. Yeah, I think Brahim Diaz definitely missed Arda twice. Like, on that one counter, if he had the vision, Arda was free. If he just plays the through ball, Arda's in a 1v1 with Szczęsny. I don't think that the players do it on purpose. I don't think that it's something that they're trying to exclude Arda or they don't like him. I just think that sometimes wrong decisions get made. Let me see. Yes, I do have a regular job. I have a 9 to 5, brother. YouTube don't pay the bills yet. One day though, right? Like this is what I want to do full time, but nah, that's just not what happens at the moment. But you know, maybe one day though. But yeah, I do have a job, bro. Yo, Zir, big up. All right, a few more comments before we move on. Let's see. Yo, Safir, my guy, says, yo, big up for calling out the attitude of your players and the shameful victim mentality. They need to be humbled. Oh, no, we've been humbled. I don't know what you mean by they need to be. This season has been the biggest humbling. Bro, what? I don't need to see any more humbling. You feel me? No. Like, they've learned their lesson. Let's start winning trophies again starting next season. I don't want Ancelotti with Brazil because I want the job to be for Jorge Jesus so he can leave Al Hilal. Brother, nobody wants Jorge Jesus. See, like, I think that he actually was somebody that Brazil were looking at. But obviously, I believe that Carlo would just be first choice. Let me see. Big up the chat, man. Make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you've not done so. Come on, people. Also, my second channel just made it pinned at the top of the comment section. Click that link. Subscribe to Carnage Extra. Come on, people. Let me see. All right, a few more. Perez and the board is the one that needs the most humbling. Well, that's the thing. I think just Real Madrid in general has been humbled. Like, this season's been awful. We've lost most of the big games that we've played this season. We've only won 2 trophies that we qualified for off the back of what we did last season. We're going 0 for 3 with the final big 3, right? Barcelona have dog-walked us. We lost to Liverpool. We lost to Lille. We lost to, who else, brother? AC Milan. We've lost to Betis. We've lost to Valencia. Like, nah, it's just not been good. We have been humbled. Trust me, brother. I don't need to see any more. Yeah, you know the thing is, though, Timmy, they're saying that we're broke. Like, the club might be broke. Because how is it that Dean Huijsen's release clause is viewed as being too expensive? Like, what is this, bro? Go out there and spend some money. I think the club will have to respond for what we have seen this season. You cannot go into next season with Trent being the only signing that we would have made. I refuse to believe that the club that have watched Barcelona walk this league, beat the hell out of us, like, it's just no way. I refuse to believe it. Now, see, I don't think that Carlo deserves all the blame, but Carlo was a big issue this season because even though we were very imbalanced, I think that Carlo Ancelotti is, I'd say, 50% of the problem. I think the other 50 is the board and Florentino Perez because they could have gave him some better tools. But regardless of the lack of signings that we've made, our squad is still very good. Our squad is still one of the best in the world. So to go out how we have and to get embarrassed by Barca, to get embarrassed by Arsenal, right? To not win any trophies in the second half of the season, that has to go on Carlo because the squad is still good enough to where we should be winning. Yes, we know that there's things that we need, but let's not act like the squad is trash. Why didn't you use Arda more? Why were you playing Tchouaméni at center back when Asensio was there performing at a high level? Why did you keep insisting on running with Lucas Vazquez? Why didn't you give some of the kids from the academy an opportunity that were highly rated, right? Why didn't you, make some certain in-game adjustments? Why do you wait until the 80th minute to make a lot of your second half substitutions? There's issues that Carlo has had that has contributed to him getting himself sacked, but he's not the main issue. No. but he is a big problem this season because I still think that our squad's good enough to win stuff. Like, that's how I look at it. Madrid are getting used to signing people on a free. I mean, that could be a thing as well. I think that Real Madrid definitely look at the market and they want to do market opportunities, which is like a Trent, right? Which is like an Mbappe. But that's all good and well. But you also have to spend money, though. Like, not every player needs to be a free agent signing. Like, that's the thing. But, yeah, people, look, let me know what you guys are saying about Carlo. And if you want to see him leave or not, because believe it or not, I've actually had somebody reach out to me and tell me why Carlo Ancelotti needs to stay. And I just couldn't believe it. I said, oh, shit. I haven't really spoken to that many people that are Carlo in, right? I feel like a lot of people are Carlo out. And you guys remember at the beginning of the season when we were playing shit, I was arguing with so many people about Carlo needs to stay. I was Carlo in. I was defending him. And then, yeah, after that AC Milan game, I was like, yeah, bro, Carlo, you're cooked. I can't defend it no more. You know, it is what it is. But I do want to move on, though, right? I want to talk about Jürgen Klopp because according to a lot of media outlets, right, Real Madrid are very interested in Klopp possibly becoming our next manager. So according to Marca, right, they're saying that Madrid have called Klopp twice to understand his intentions about his future. Now, we all know, right, Jürgen Klopp is the manager that I prefer over Xabi Alonso. I think that he would do a better job. I think that he's more proven. And I think that his style of play and the system that we saw at Liverpool is perfect with the personnel that Real Madrid currently have. Now, I do believe that it would be a very hard deal to get done. I think that Klopp, personally, I believe that he's comfortable at Leipzig in whatever role he has. And if this guy was saying before he left Liverpool that he's worn out and that he's tired, right? Coming to a job like Real Madrid, which is a very high pressurized position, right? Where the expectations are for you to win and win now. I feel like that could be a conflict with him. Now, I think it definitely makes sense, right? That the club are looking at him. I think Jürgen Klopp is the best available manager, right? You don't have to pay a fee to any club. I don't believe so. To bring him in because he's not managing at any other club. And I think Klopp, like I said, tactically would be able to get the best out of this team. If you guys have not seen the video where I did a tactical analysis of Jürgen Klopp at Real Madrid, you have to go check that out. On top of that, Trent is coming in as well. Jürgen Klopp is the guy that made Trent Alexander-Arnold what he is. He's the one that brought him through at Liverpool. He's the one that got Liverpool cooking and competing against Man City. And I think, I'm going to say it right now, I think that there's a debate to be had between who's a better manager, Klopp or Pep Guardiola. Klopp has always been at underdog clubs. He's been with teams that don't really want to spend money like that, who give him these tools that he has to work with. Imagine, because Klopp is Liverpool, in my opinion, he's their greatest ever manager. He's won everything at that club. But imagine how many more trophies Klopp could have won if FSG were more ambitious, if they would have spent more money. How many times did we see Liverpool have 90-plus points in the Premier League and not win it? And then in the summer window, not really make any major moves. The team that Klopp took over at Liverpool, he made all these players world-class. He made Trent from the academy world-class. Andy Robertson, world-class from Hull City. Mohamed Salah, when they brought him in from Roma, was not world-class. Klopp made him world-class. Klopp made Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, Wijnaldum, all these guys. Alisson. The only player that okay, you know what? Let me not be too famous. I'd say Alisson and I'd say Van Dijk because they were bought for big money. But a majority of that Liverpool team, nobody thought that they would go on to do what they did. Jürgen Klopp made them. Whereas I rate Pep Guardiola. I think Pep Guardiola is one of the greatest managers ever. But Pep, let's not act like he's not just been at the best clubs. He goes to Barcelona, right? He's in their academy. He's doing very good there. But the guy took over a team that had Messi, Samuel Eto'o, right? This guy had like Piqué. This guy had like Puyol and all these top class players. He wins trophies with them. Does a madness at Barcelona. And then he leaves Barca. And then where does he go? Is it Bayern? Did he make the jump from Barcelona to Bayern? Bayern in the Bundesliga, they're the only team that matters. And he didn't even win a UCL with them. There is no competition in the Bundesliga. Let's just be very honest. So he had the best team in Germany. He was at one of the best teams in Spain. This guy got a prime Messi. This guy was at Bayern. It's the Schnitzel League. Vincent Kompany is about to win it with Bayern. I could win the league with Bayern. They spend the most money. They buy everybody's best players. It's not hard. And then he leaves Bayern and then goes to Man City. And look at all the money that he spent. So I do give Klopp a little bit more of an advantage because he's done a lot with less. He's challenged Pep Guardiola with less. So now I bring all that up to say, let Klopp come to a team where we will back him, where he will have the best of the best. He deserves it. He doesn't always need to be at these underdog clubs. The guy started managing, he was at Mainz, then went to Dortmund, then went to Liverpool. All these clubs. Dortmund is a big club, historically, but they're not serious. Dortmund are human traffickers. These guys want to buy young kids, make them good, and then flip them for profit. Liverpool. I think the only reason why they've been so successful over the last 10 years is because of Jürgen Klopp. FSG are horrible owners. FSG do not care about winning. FSG would just be perfectly fine with coming top 4. Jürgen Klopp made them what they are today. Whenever Arne Slot sees Klopp, he needs to bow down and kiss his feet. Because what Slot did this season was very good. But that is built over the foundation that Jürgen Klopp has laid. He is the perfect manager for Real Madrid. Now, will it happen? Who knows? But there is another report that I do want to bring up just really quickly. Because Miroslav, right, he's a Serbian coach, and he is a friend of Jürgen Klopp. He's come out and said that when Jürgen left Liverpool, he told me he only had 2 wishes. And that's coaching Real Madrid or coaching the German national team. Now, whether you believe that or not is up to you. I don't think that Madrid Zone would lie. I don't think that Mozart Sport would lie. Let me click this page. So they only have 31,000 followers. But look, this is I don't know what language this is. Is this Serbian? I have no idea. Like, what language do they speak over there? But Fabrizio Romano follows them. So clearly, there's some credibility there. Like I said, Klopp would be the perfect fit. And what's more likely? Him getting the German job right now or him getting the Real Madrid job? Because we're about to have an opening in a few weeks, brother. Julian Nagelsmann is locked in with Germany until at least the World Cup. Klopp has already took a break. He's been out of, he's not coached for a year. Come on now. I'm telling you, people, Klopp is the way. I feel like he would be the best manager to go head-to-head with Hansi Flick. His tactics, the pressing, the high up-tempo, we have the personnel for it. And I think for anybody that might have questions of, well, will Vinicius or Mbappe press and do these things off the ball? I believe that they will. I believe that Jürgen Klopp would be the manager to get them playing together, to get the best out of them. I'm a massive fan of Klopp. I'm gonna be real, bro. I would do a lot to see Jürgen Klopp at Real Madrid, bro. It's crazy. But look, get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are saying about this. Are you like me? Do you prefer Klopp or do you prefer somebody else? Imagine this just being a whole repeat of this season. What do you mean? We don't have the personnel for it. We don't have forwards willing to put it. No, I think that they will, though. I feel like a lot of people are just assuming that the players won't press. I think the reason why you don't see Mbappe and Vinicius pressing is because there's no coach telling them to do it. I think if Carlo was telling them to press, if Carlo had a system that required them to do a lot more work off the ball, I think they would do it. But the thing is, the system that we've been seeing for the last 3-4 seasons just allows the players to do whatever they want. We're going to talk about Xabi next. I prefer Klopp too, but Klopp links were down. Fabrizio confirmed. When did he confirm this? I'll check Fabrizio's page right now. Let me see. When did Fabrizio confirm this? Let me see. I did see that he did post maybe like a few weeks ago that Klopp is happy with his role at Leipzig. But what does that mean? That means absolutely nothing. I'm happy at my current job right now. But I'd be even more happier if I was doing YouTube full time and able to make a living. You feel me? So like just because you're happy where you're at doesn't mean that you're content. Bro, our midfield has so many similarities to that Liverpool midfield. All engines, all press. It would be perfect. But I thought attackers know they're still supposed to score no matter what. So you're saying that Carlo are telling the attackers not to score every when they get a chance? This has got to be the dumbest comment that I've read so far today, bro. Well, what are you waffling about? Like, what are you? Like,
Shut up, bitch!
What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Yeah, I would like to see Arda get a lot more minutes until the end of the season, for sure. Ronaldo's my GOAT. All right, a few more, then we'll go on to Xabi. If Real Madrid hired Xabi, I can already see he will get the same fate as Xavi and Barca. These guys aren't ready to coach big teams. You know, the thing is, bro, Hanif, I don't think that you're necessarily wrong. I think Xabi would cook at Real Madrid, but I would be lying if I told you that I wasn't worried about the pressure that it comes with. Madrid plays Red Bull in the third game of the Club World Cup. The only issue I see with Klopp is that his system can be very taxing on the players, and our board is looking like FSG right now, so I'm worried that they'll get burnt out and we're back to square one. Fair enough, right? Like that Gengen pressing tactics, it does, like, yeah. Like after a few, like that's why you like Klopp. The thing is, it works if you invest in the squad. right? But if you don't get this guy players that he can rotate with, and if it's just the same players week in, week out, then yes, the burnout will be very quick. But that's why having a squad is super important, bro. But yeah, man, like, as I said, let me know what you guys are saying about Klopp possibly coming to Real Madrid. I mean, look, it's unlikely, but that's who I want. Now, the guy that's more than likely going to get the Real Madrid job is Xabi Alonso. Now, I don't mind this. Obviously, not my first choice, but I think there are a lot of positives that comes with the Xabi Alonso. I mean, let's just look at what he's done with Leverkusen. This guy came and he went invincible, did a domestic double. The first team in the Bundesliga to win that league, aside from Bayern, in like over a decade. Now, I know that this season, it's not been as good. But let's be honest. Xabi Alonso was never going to really live up to what he did when he first won that Bundesliga title. The only way to top that is to go invincible again. He would have had to done an invincible treble. And that was never going to happen. I think that a lot of people are looking at this season and saying, you know what, maybe he's not the guy. They're not going to win the Bundesliga. They got knocked out of the domestic cups. Bayern knocked them out of the UCL as well. And I hear what people are saying, but I think there's just way too many positives for Xabi Alonso. And that's the reason why I do not mind him coming in. I think that the Xabi Alonso system, yes, I am wary about playing a back three. But I believe that the system, in terms of the style of play, is very attractive, right? Xabi Alonso likes to play possession-based football. They attack, right? He has different styles of play. I also think that he's very adjustable as well, because there's been times where, yes, he's known for more of the back three, but I have watched a Leverkusen game, and I've seen them run a back four as well. I've seen them on the ball become a back three, but then off the ball, it goes to a back four. Like, he does different things. And I think that Xabi Alonso, he will play Arda Güler more, right? I think he can unlock Arda's potential. He will give more minutes to kids from the academy. So I'm excited if Xabi Alonso comes in. Now, there's reports saying that if Xabi Alonso takes over, then it might be after the Club World Cup. And initially, I always thought that whoever our next manager was going to be needs to be there for the Club World Cup, because I look at the Club World Cup as if it's a preseason tournament. Because after that, the players would need to go on rest. We're not going to have, I cannot see Real Madrid going into the Club World Cup and then after that tournament also doing a preseason. The players need to get rest before next season kicks off. So I always wanted the next manager to come in. But what I forgot was that the Club World Cup, chat, is in June. June is still considered this season. So we would need to have a buyout with Leverkusen. It's the same thing with Trent Alexander-Arnold. In June, Trent is still technically a Liverpool player, even if he does sign a pre-contract with us. It's not until July that your free agent signings join. It's not until July that the new manager would be able to come in. And that, to me, is a little bit jarring, because I think that Xabi Alonso would need that tournament to implement his style of play so that the players can get used to his tactics while also playing against very good competition at a high level. So that is something that bothers me, because I don't want an interim manager for that tournament. I don't want to see Solari in that Club World Cup. But look, we all know, right? Xabi Alonso, it looks like he is the man that the club want, and I get it. But it's like what somebody brought up earlier in the comment section. Will he be able to handle that pressure at Real Madrid? Because at Leverkusen, even though he's done a very good job, there's no pressure. If Xabi Alonso goes trophyless, his job is safe. As long as they're competing for a Europa League spot, they're going to be happy. At Real Madrid, where the expectations are to win and to compete no matter what, will he be able to handle it? I think he will. He's played for us. He knows the culture. And I think that he does deserve an opportunity. Now, is it a bit too early? Possibly. But at the same time, I don't think that we can get much worse from what we've seen this season. It cannot get much worse. We have been shit. So I'm willing to take the gamble on Xabi. Guess what? If he flops, then he'll get sacked. It's not that deep. But I do want to talk about tactically, right? What are we going to see from Xabi Alonso at Real Madrid? Now, I'm going to keep it as the back three. Maybe he comes in and does a back four, but let's just go off of what we've mainly seen from him at Leverkusen. And I'm not going to include possible transfers. The only player that I will include is Trent, because that deal is all but wrapped up, according to all the big outlets. But with the personnel that we have right now, I think Xabi Alonso could cook. Let's talk about it, though. So, in goal, it's going to have to be Courtois, right? I mean, look, Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world. I don't care what anybody tells me, okay? The guy is phenomenal, and as long as he's at Real Madrid and he's fit, he is going to be the number one. Now, we enter this back three. So, how I see it is Asensio. Because for me, Asensio needs to be starting for us next season. Asensio has been phenomenal. I think he's had a great debut season at Real Madrid. To be very honest, I think that Asensio has saved us. Because if Asensio was garbage, if Asensio was trash, we would have been in trouble. Because then we would have had to rely on Vallejo. So the way that Asensio has risen up this season, right? The guy is broken to the Spanish national team as well. And I think that he's been our best defender this season. If we don't go out there and sign a Saliba or sign another big name player, I think Asensio is 100% locked on to be starting next season. Even if Militao is fit, even if David Alaba is fit, I don't care. Asensio needs to be starting. I think the middle center back would be Rudiger. Now, Rudiger's levels have dropped this season, but he's still, in my opinion, one of the best. But yeah, this season's just been very mediocre for him. Now, at left center back, I've seen a lot of people putting David Alaba here. I'm going to be real, chat. I think David Alaba is cooked. I think he is finito, okay? This guy, one, he's always injured. And two, he's no longer able to stay fit at the highest level and put in good performances. Since David Alaba has come back from injury this season, he's been a liability. I think he needs to be sold in the summer. I think David Alaba and Militao both need to be gone. But the odds of that happening is very slim, right? Militao, he's torn both his ACLs in back-to-back seasons. He's cooked. So I don't have any of them locked on as being a starter next season. I'm going with Mendy. Ferland Mendy, I think at left center back would cook. This guy is so good defensively, right? We all know Ferland Mendy going forward is not the best. Ferland Mendy, when he has to overlap, when he has to cross the ball into the box, when he has to link play in the final third, that's not where he earns his money. Ferland Mendy is very physical. He's very good defensively. And I think he would be perfect as the left-sided center back. So this is how I think the back three needs to look underneath Xabi Alonso. I think this gives us great balance. Now, going into this midfield. Hear me out, chat. At left wing back, I'm going with the Mumbai Messi, the New Delhi Ronaldo. Okay? Man like Rodrigo. Now, I think Rodrigo at left wing back would do a madness. Out of all of our front three attacking players, who presses the most? Who runs back the most? It's Rodrigo. And in this system, not only will he already be doing what he normally does, which is track back, but he also gets to play on the left side of the pitch. He gets to play on the preferred side. We all know that Rodrigo is a left winger that's been having to play right wing because of Vinicius. But in this system, you can now afford to let Rodrigo play on the left. And I know that there's a lot of pressure on Rodrigo right now. I know a lot of people want this guy sold. A lot of people don't think that Rodrigo is good enough. And I think you are wrong. I think Rodrigo is a baller. And I think him at left wing back, he cook. This guy, to me, is one of the best wingers in the world. I know that his form is up and down, but he's been the sacrificial lamb at Real Madrid. He's always the first one taken off, even when he's playing well. He's my favorite player at the club, and I would like to see him underneath a new manager before we talk about getting rid of him. Just me personally. I think left wing back would be his best position. I think he would cook. Now, let's go into the midfield, okay? This is where things get a bit tricky. Right away, Valverde gets in there, okay? Let's not even act stupid, okay? Like, there's nothing to even talk about right there. But in this spot next to him, I'm struggling on who I think deserves to be locked in. Now, again, we are building what I think Xabi's preferred 11 would be, right? Hear me out. But that does not mean that there's not going to be rotations, right? This is why you have a good squad, because you're going to be playing a lot of games throughout the season. So this doesn't mean that this is the 11 that will run every single week, right? Players will be rotated. There will be injuries and whatnot. So I'm really torn between Tchouaméni or Camavinga. Now, I'm going to give you an argument for both. And I am leaning towards Tchouaméni. One, Tchouaméni is a very good destroyer. He is one of the best DMs in the world. And in a system like this, where your wingback is going to be getting forward a lot, I think you do need somebody that's more than capable of sitting back, reading the defense, covering the open spaces. And Tchouaméni can also drop deep if needed to play as an extra center back. So that's why I'm leaning Tchouaméni. Now, as far as Camavinga is concerned, Camavinga, I don't view him as a 6. I view Camavinga as an 8. And Camavinga on the ball is clear of Tchouaméni. Camavinga's ball progression is phenomenal. And that's why I think Tchouaméni makes more sense. Because bringing in Camavinga, but then asking him to sit back, it takes away from what makes him a special player. And again, Camavinga will get a lot of minutes. There will be games where Camavinga starts. There will be games where Tchouaméni's on the bench. But I think Tchouaméni, in my opinion, needs to be there just for the defensive presence. I think he's better defensively than Camavinga. Now, at right wing back, this is where we bring in the signing Trent. Look, we all know Trent defensively is not the best. But going forward, phenomenal. On the ball, crossing it, set pieces, corners, free kicks, phenomenal player. I think the right wing back would suit him very well. And then we'd also have cover for him with Asensio and with Valverde on this side. Now, in the 2-10s, I'm going Vinicius. And then right 10, I'm going Jude. And then in the 9, I'm going Mbappe. So this is how I think that it ultimately looks underneath a Xabi Alonso. Like, this is what I think his first 11 would be like in, like, our first competitive game, if that makes sense. And the system, it can work, I'm telling you. Because then, look, even if you say, well, Vinicius left 10, how is that going to work? Brother, there's times when Vinny can go out wide, right? Let's say on the ball, of course. Then Rodrigo can invert, right? Or you can keep him in the left 10. Rodrigo can overlap. Like, it works. Same thing with Trent, right? When Trent goes forward, Valverde can cover this space, right? You can also have Jude, again, because for me, Jude is more of a 8. But I think the higher up the pitch that he is, I think that's where you'll get maybe the most out of him in terms of with his goal-scoring abilities, right? You let him crash the box. And then you could even have Mbappe sometimes drop deep. It draws the defense. It gives Jude space. Or you let Trent overlap. Now Trent's on this right wing, and now he's playing the ball into the box where you got Jude crashing. You have Mbappe here. You got Vinicius. And again, I think that the personnel works because it allows, again, Rodrigo to be on the left while also keeping Vinny on the left. Now, whether you think Mbappe can play as the 9 is a different conversation. But I think him coming to Real Madrid, for me, that means that he signed up to be the 9. Because there's no way that he would have came to Real Madrid thinking that he would be the left winger. That would have been idiotic by him. And then, look, right? Look at this. Look, Arda Güler is going to get minutes in the 10, right? In the right 10, right? Imagine Arda playing in this right 10 role, right? And then, again, look, it's just so many possibilities, bro. Like, I think this could work. But for me, it would be a 3-4-2-1 on the ball. Then off the ball, I think it becomes more of like a 4-4-2, right? Whereas, let's say off the ball, I think that it would shift like this, right? So I think Trent would then have to drop a bit. Or if not, right, you could also have it be like this, off the ball, 4-4-2, where now Jude is tracking back, helping Trent. You have Valverde here as well, who always does a good shift. Are you guys seeing the vision? I'm excited. I'm excited to see a good style of play. I'm excited to see some possession-based attacking football. I'm excited to see how he's going to use Arda Güler. I'm excited to see what young players he integrates into the first team. Don't forget, Xabi Alonso was with the first team. Sorry, was with the academy before he went on to, I think, it was Sociedad. So we have a very talented academy. Our academy is one of the most successful in the world. We generate the most money. We're able to sell a lot of these players. When Carvajal got injured, I think that Ancelotti made a huge mistake not giving any of these academy kids a chance, right? Aguado. What about Jesus Fortia? All these players that we hear are highly rated at Madrid, rotted on the bench. Had to watch Lucas Vazquez stink it up week in, week out. So, look, I think it's exciting. Be excited, chat. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Xabi Alonso. I'm going to only do a few of your chats because I do have to dip. Yeah, bro. I have a meeting right now. So let's run through a few of these. A coach that can instill high press is all I need. Big up to Muhammad with the super chat. I appreciate that, bro. Let me see. We will be back later, though, guys. Football Mania later today with the guys. So don't worry. I'll be able to talk to you guys some more there. Also, if you guys still do have things that you want to talk about, get in that Discord, right? The Discord link has been getting dropped throughout the stream. And also, subscribe to my second channel. The link is pinned right there. I have to dip right now, though, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm like 5 minutes late for this meeting. But we'll be back. If you guys want to talk, again, get in the Discord. I'll text it in there. But second channel, subscribe to that. Again, Football Mania later. And what else did I want to say? Second channel, just created it. We're going to be talking about all things football, right? Not just Real Madrid, not just Barcelona on that channel. So go over there. I haven't dropped the video yet, but I might drop a video starting tomorrow, like with the UCL stuff that's going on at the moment. But yeah, sorry, I got to dip so fast, guys. But big up to your damn selves every single time. Smash that like button. subscribe on your way out. Let me see if anybody's live that I can send you a quick redirect. If not, that seems like a them kind of problem, right? Let's see. Really fast. What are we doing here? You know what? Yeah. Let me see. You know what? I'll redirect you guys to Egal. Big up to him. I think he's doing a match preview for PSG versus Arsenal. So when you guys get in his chat, let him know Carnage Raid. And yeah, I'll be back later. Get in the Discord if you guys want to talk more. But yeah, sorry that I have to end it so damn fast. Fucking hell. Like, time just flew by. Big up to your damn selves, people. In a bit. Holla Madrid.